YouTube, and welcome to my Qliphoth deck update. Now that DevPro is updated and there's more cards available for the Qliphoths, I decided to update the deck. And as you can see, there's some new cards here. I took out the Monarchs because there's really no need for them at all. It's just mainly all Qliphoths for the main part. It's just yeah, it's more of a pure build. Did take some liberty in adding a variety of different things, and pretty much I'll just go right into the deck like this would be any other deck profile tool searches. I added Obelisk because he's a 4000 meter, and this deck is pretty much just a beatdown deck doing a lot of damage real quickly for getting rid of monsters, and so you can get rid of pretty much anything and he can't be targeted. So he's pretty much the same thing as this guy except stronger. So I decided, you know what, instead of running 2 Qliphoth killer, let's just run an Obelisk because he's a stronger monster that can be even more annoying in some cases. And then we have Apoqliphoth killer, and this guy has to be tributing 3 Qliphoth monster. It is unaffected by spell and trap cards and the effects of monsters that have a lower level, and they are both 10, so that's just something to note, because if you Obelisk can actually destroy a Qliphoth not just by battle, but yet also using his effect because he's a level 10 monster, same as killer. So Obelisk can destroy Apoqliphoth, while most monsters will not be able to. And then we have Shell, who can attack twice if you tribute a Qliphoth monster. Just has to be 1 Qliphoth monster, and can inflict piercing. Disc, which can special summon 2 more Qliphoth monsters when normal summoned by tributing a Qliphoth monster. And then they'll destroy during the end phase, so they go into the extra deck. And then you have Odd Eyes to search out either Tool or Untementi Trampolinix, which we'll get on to later. We have Genome, who when tributed destroys back row, so you can probably see some combos there. And Archive, who bounces monsters back to the hand when tributed. So as you can tell, there's a variety of combos there. And then we have the 1 card D, just for more draw power, just because why not. And then we have Trampolinix, triple of them. It's supposed to be for the other Pendulum scale. What you can do is search, Pendulum summon, Trampolinix effect will kick in, return tool, then you might be able to XZ summon into a variety of different things, and then you can activate tool once more and search again. And then Summoner's Art, which allows you to search out tool. So that's a very interesting card, and it's probably one that you should definitely run, and it might even be in your common. And then we have the 2 MSTs to get rid of stuff to go with our Genome. So that can be really useful. And then Monarch Stormforth, which allows us to tribute our opponent's monsters, which can become in conflict if you have access to an Archive, yet at the same time it's still really nice for when you're trying to go for a really big push play and you don't have all the requirements for like a Pendulum summon, or you just want to get rid of one of your opponent's monsters. And then Qliphoth Sacrifice, it's an equip spell card. You equip it to a Qliphoth monster, gains 300 if it's treated as 2 tributes, so that's really good. If you still have a monster on the field, it'll stay because it can't be destroyed by battle, and then you can tribute that 1 monster for a Shell or Disc. And then we have the field spell, only 2 of the field spell, because it allows you to normal summon again, and the summon, oh wow, I thought it was just a normal summon. Yet the summons period, including the Pendulum summon, Qliphoth monsters cannot be negated, so that's really interesting. It really helps, so that way you don't run into zombie, yet it also allows for an extra normal summon. So you have this and a Genome and an Archive. You can normal the Genome and then normal the Archive. Because all of the Pendulum monsters in this deck, except Qliphoth Tool, can be normal summoned without tributing. They just have lower attack and lower levels. And then Apoqliphoth, which allows you to add 3 Qliphoth Pendulum monsters from your extra deck to your hand, which is really nice. The cards that you'd want to get back is Shell and Disc. The rest, Archive and Genome, you'd want to stay in there, so that's why we're only running 1. And then Qliphoth fortran, which if you've been watching some of my other videos, I talked about how I don't want them to get a Ghost Trick Vanish, and this is pretty much a Ghost Trick Vanish. Normal summon Qliphoth monsters on the field gain 3 attacks, effects are negated, and are unaffected by other spell and trap cards to the end of the turn. So obviously, if Apoqliphoth is unaffected by spell cards, so he would be unaffected by this, he wouldn't gain the attack boost. But it's really just painful to run into, and the fact that they have this is just ridiculous. And then the 1 Compulse, and I'm testing out the 2 Solemn Bias, which can be pretty pricey, seeing how it's 6,000 life points, and this deck revolves around paying 800 to search. I haven't actually seen it, so I haven't really been able to test it. And really this deck doesn't have many set cards. Most of its cards are face up. Like normally we'd have just one fortran face down and maybe an MST or something, but yet really what it comes to is, hey, they have a pendulum scale and they have back row. Which should I get rid of? If I get rid of back row, they'll just make a counterattack next turn and I won't be able to do anything. If I get rid of the back rows, if I get rid of the scale, then they're just going to stop me. So it creates a lot of problems for your opponent having the Solemn Advice and these fortrans. And the extra deck is kind of here just in case we do get the Trample Lanix out and we are able to bounce back tool. We have Divine Dragon Knight Felgram, which can be made using these two. Dracosac and Big Eye, which can be made with these guys, and Pendulum Dragon if you can make him. And then we have just a variety of rank 4s. When they're Pendulum Summon, they all become level 4. I decided to run a variety of different level 4 monsters that are just generic. And that's pretty much the deck update for the most part. Qliphoths are looking to be really, really good. I have had to actually have a real good battle with Shaddolls against them. I've had a couple. But yeah, it's normally like if this guy hits the field, it's GG. I haven't seen anybody get over it. And I haven't actually gotten Obelisk out. I'd really like to get Obelisk out though. And it's just, the deck's really good. It's looking to be really good. And the thing that makes me just so sad is that they created Shaddolls just to make this deck look so good, because they made this deck specifically to be better than Shaddolls. And so it's really sad because I want to play Shaddolls. The Shaddolls look really fun to me, and they made them just to make this deck look better, pretty much. And really, like Apoqliphoth, everybody's freaking out about that. But yet, I mean, this is a card that could have been anything like this. This doesn't really make Pendulum Summoning broken, because like they could have made a card that's unaffected by Spell Trap and Monster Effect and made it an XE or Synchro Monster. They didn't have to do the whole Pendulum mechanic to make this guy. They just made this guy to make the Pendulum mechanic look good. And so that's something just to take into note. I'm not gonna hate too much on the Pendulum Summoning. I think it's interesting, and I want this game to change a little bit, so that way it's more. There's just a variety of different things that you can't expect with this game. And yeah, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck update, and I'll have a duel out tomorrow. This is just what a pure Qliphoth deck will probably look like. If you want, you can add in some Monarchs. Don't like the Karkadi, add in a Caius or a Mobius if you don't want back row. And it's a really good deck, although Mask of Restrict definitely shuts it down. It only has I only run 2 MSTs and 2 Solemn Advices, which can negate Mask of Restrict, I believe. So if you pull it off just right, this deck could just fall apart really easily, especially if it starts drawing into cards like Shell, Obelisk, and Monarch Spoonforth, which are required to tribute. Yeah, that can really hurt a variety of different decks. And yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Oh wow, I'm only running 14 cards in the extra deck. So good. I have no clue what I should add. Probably another Ragnar Zero, because Ragnar Zero works really well with this deck. The fact that this guy reduces attack, and I believe, yeah, this guy also reduces attack if it's in the Pendulum Zone, which you don't want. You don't want Genome to be in the Pendulum Zone. But this is the deck update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and thank you guys for watching. It means a lot for me if you watch the entire video, and it means a lot to me even more if you subscribe, like, or comment. I really like comments. Don't forget to check out the links below in the description box over here where my mouse is, below where my mouse is, and the annotations which are going to be popping up on the screen after this. So see you guys later. See you guys. Bye. Hey, if you could click on the links and on the annotation to see the duel with this deck or some of my other videos, that would really help. And check out the links in the description to watch some of me and my friends' videos, and even something that could help make this deck a reality for you. See you guys later. Bye.